Things just took a shocking turn for Shemar Stewart. Rumors are now swirling that he's going to sit out the 2025 season and enter into the 2026 draft. Also, along with it are some possible trade rumors. We're going to break down what these reports are saying and what it's going to mean for Shemar Stewart and this Bengals franchise. Welcome to the jungle. This is Isaac Coffman from Bengals Digest. Happy to see you. And if you are watching this video and not already subscribed, you are a part of the 76%. Please smash that subscribe. Be a part of the community. We love to hear your thoughts on this offseason that has been very, very eventful, to say the least. And we want to hear from you, so be sure you smash that button, join in on the community, and get your voice heard. So reports are coming out about Shemar Stewart. What is there to say? He has been dominating the headlines for not signing his rookie deal, saying that the wording in the contract conflicts with what past contracts have shown, pretty much taking a stand, not practicing. He was at minicamp only to leave on the third day, causing a stir, causing friction that is now spreading throughout the league. And what does that mean? Well, that means more rumors, more reports. One such comes from Solomon Wilcots. And he said that an option that Shemar Stewart might look into is sitting out the 2025 season. Yes, he's not signed. He's not under contract. So he could sit out this year and decide to enter into the 2026 draft. This just sounds crazy. This is what's going to happen, though. This is what's going to be the result of this contract not getting signed, about this constant back and forth of the Bengals putting in a clause of future guarantees being void and trying to say, no, this is more on Shemar Stewart. He should be signing this contract. Vice versa. It's going back and forth. We're seeing this conflict as it's going on. And that's, for fans, we're just kind of in the middle of it. It's like, what is going to happen through all of this? Frankly, I think it's ridiculous that he would want to sit out a full season. You're going to lose out not only on money, but you're also going to lose out on the possibility of getting a lot of attention from other teams. You're really enforcing a lot of that drama. It's understandable to not want to sign that contract. When this first began, he was showing up, he wasn't practicing, but that was due to an injury clause. He did not sign that if he were to practice, if he were to get injured, things like that. But, as fans, we're kind of stuck in the middle of all this. Unfortunately, it just seems like we're going to have to hear about this for the time being. But what does that mean if he was going to enter into the draft? Well, there was a breakdown of that in that he could enter the 2026 draft. And if that's the case, he would not be able to be selected by Cincinnati. That's why these rumors are coming out. It's pretty much a breakup of Shemar Stewart just wants to get as far away from the Bengals. He has a dislike of them now. It's an option. It's a possibility, but this is just crazy talk to me. I don't understand why he would want to sit out. It goes on to make a good point that he does have a lot going against him right now. He had 4.5 sacks in college, and he's showing that he could possibly be a headache for other teams. This might be justified, maybe that he doesn't agree with this contract, but at the same time, it just makes you wonder, why would you want to sit out for a full year only to go to another team? It goes into further. He goes into discuss why all of this is kind of coming about, why this could be an option. This is the quote from Solomon Wilcots. He said, he ended up leaving the mandatory meeting without participating in any on-field drills or activities, talking about minicamp. In today's world where players have NIL money, they have other things that they've been able to take advantage of. He could even sign endorsement deals and still be eligible to go back and play in college, which would allow him to walk away from the Cincinnati Bengals. If he were to take that nuclear option, that would be a devastating blow to the Bengals to not have the services of a first rounder or a first round pick. Well, obviously, that would be terrible. That'd be the worst case scenario for the Bengals. There's nothing. You have just lost your first round pick. You might as well have just took it and thrown it away at that point. So this is a very crazy report that is coming out from Solomon Wilcots. It is an option. It's something that he could look at. He brings up the thought of NIL money. That's the difference of if he decides to do that, he could still collect a paycheck, so to say. I just don't see it. I don't think that's going to be the case. As much as he seems disgruntled, as much as he seems upset that the Bengals have not been treating him fairly, I get it. But that just still seems crazy to me that he would sit out a whole year. I just can't wrap my head around it. I really can't. He's got, if anything, this is hurting him to get a monster contract because, again, he's got drama now starting to build around him. If something gets worked out, maybe this blows over. But the more time that goes on, the more he's going to be viewed as that drama player. Unfortunately, that's something he has to think about, that this should get resolved as soon as possible. Not to mention he is missing out on valuable reps. And that goes back to he had 4.5 sacks in college. He's got that reputation already that he doesn't have sacks. Now he's got the physical talent and skills, but you got to go out there and prove yourself. You got to show it on the field. Sitting out, that's not doing it. That is not attracting any kind of attention that he would want in building this reputation as a solid player and beyond, being one of the top players. Every single player wants to be the best. Sitting out, you're just not going to do that. And unfortunately, another report has been coming out, not only that he could sit out, but that the Bengals would trade him. It's kind of ridiculous to me. I'm just going to go out there and say it is really ridiculous. There's been all these reports coming out that, they're going to trade him, that a team is going to come along and offer. I saw some from the Commanders saying they would offer a 3rd round pick. I mean, are you kidding me? A 3rd round pick, you're going to give up a 1st rounder. I know that was probably one of those clickbait, just a super fan of the Commanders hoping, hey, we'll get a 1st rounder for a 3rd rounder. But I noticed that at least there is some articles coming out kind of distinguishing this flame because it was going wild. There was all these trade talks, all of Shemar Stewart's going to go to the Commanders. He's going to go to the Colts. He's going to go to Detroit, all these different places. Chris Rowling brought out that a great points in the article of that's just not going to happen. They're not going to trade him. We have to remember that Trey Hendrickson sought a trade earlier because of his contract issues. That's a whole other topic again, but the Bengals wanted more. You really think the Bengals are going to give up a 1st round pick for a 3rd? I mean, it's really ridiculous. You kind of have to just shake your head and laugh at it, but it's out there. It's the rumors that we're seeing. And it pointed out that technically, you can trade a 1st round draft pick. It has to be up until 30 days before the first game of the season. But that's what we're at. This is where we are. We are now talking all of the possibilities that Shemar Stewart would have other than getting things worked out, signing with the Bengals, getting with the team, and practicing. This is unfortunately the reality we are looking at right now is, will he be traded? But again, it doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. I'm just wanting to reassure, if you are looking at all these headlines of Shemar Stewart's going to be traded here, he's going to sit out. To me, it's just that's just white noise. Just cloud that out because this is some drama. We get it. It's very frustrating as a fan because we want to see some pressure this year. The defense struggled. It's a broken record. We talk about it, but that is what kept this team. It's the one thing you can point at, and there's other struggles. Don't get me wrong. You look at Evan McPherson. You look at sometimes the special teams itself struggled. Even the offense struggled. Didn't put up the points when it was fully capable of against certain teams. But that defense, that is the first thing the Bengals need to address. And not having Shemar Stewart at practice, not getting those reps, that's just not what you want to see. It plain and simple. He should be out there practicing right now along with Trey Hendrickson. They should be building that rapport. They should be getting ready for the season because the window for the Bengals to go far, to make the playoffs, period, but to go far, get to the Super Bowl, that window is only a short amount of time. We'd love for it to be a decade of the Bengals going to the Super Bowl, but there's only a short window to be able to achieve that. And it's all going to come back to if things don't blow over that defense without Golden, the pressure's on. The pressure's already on if they're out there, but even more so, you've got your two, at least your top rusher, your top sack leader, not there. And potentially one that's supposed to be your running mate right there with you to get some pressure, get that on opposing quarterbacks. Pressure's on. So, all this trade talk with Shemar Stewart, all these things going on, just treat it as white noise. Just stay tuned. Hopefully the Bengals get this worked out to where we're talking what's going on the field. We can get excited for the season and what kind of run to the playoffs the Bengals will have. We want to hear from you guys, though. What do you think of all these trade talks about him sitting out the 2025 season? We want to hear from you. Are you confident the Bengals are going to get something worked out? We can move on. We can focus on the players. Comment below your thoughts. And again, if you have not already, smash that subscribe button so you'll be all up to date on the latest and greatest Bengals news. That's going to do it for now, guys. As we say, Uday.